Mike Tyson's journey in boxing is one of the most fascinating stories in the sport's history. Born in Brooklyn, New York, Tyson grew up in an environment filled with violence and crime. His rough neighborhood taught him how to fight just to survive, a skill that would later make him a legend in the boxing ring. Tyson had a tough start, raised by a single mother and often in trouble with the law. It was during these early, challenging years that his natural talent for boxing began to shine. At the age of 12, Tyson was sent to a juvenile detention center, where he met a man who would change his life forever, Cus D'Amato. D'Amato, a legendary boxing trainer, saw Tyson's potential and took him under his wing. With D'Amato's guidance, Tyson quickly became a force in boxing. His training was tough, and D'Amato helped him develop the mindset of a champion. By the time he was just 18 years old, Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion in history, knocking out Trevor Berbick in 1986. Tyson's boxing style was unique. He had a combination of speed, power, and aggression that no one had seen before. He closed the distance between himself and his opponents so quickly, dodging punches while landing powerful blows. His knockout ability was unmatched, often ending fights in the early rounds. This fierce style earned him the nickname Iron Mike, and he became a global name, dominating the heavyweight division like no other fighter before him. Tyson's reign as champion made him seem unbeatable. He was feared by opponents and respected by fans all over the world. But despite his success in the ring, his personal life was full of struggles. His relationships were often troubled, and he faced challenges like anger issues, substance abuse, and legal problems. By the mid-1990s, Tyson lost the championship titles he had once held easily. Even with his fall from grace, Tyson's legacy as one of the greatest boxers ever remains solid. His impact on boxing is undeniable, and his story still inspires future athletes. Tyson's aggressive style and his unique life story made him a legend. His journey isn't just about victories in the ring. It's about overcoming struggles, seeking redemption, and proving yourself against all odds. Looking back at Tyson's career, it's clear he was more than just a fighter. He was a symbol of strength and determination. Despite the personal battles he faced, Tyson's talent and drive made him one of boxing's most iconic figures. Today, Tyson remains a controversial yet beloved figure, with his story captivating fans around the world. His rise, fall, and eventual redemption show us the power of perseverance and the ability to overcome difficult circumstances. Mike Tyson's story is one of incredible highs and crushing lows. Though his dominance in boxing was brief, the impact he had on the sport will never fade. From his rise as a young prodigy to becoming a global superstar, Tyson amazed the world with his speed, power, and unyielding will to win. His legacy lives on today, continuing to inspire boxers and reminding us of what's possible with hard work, dedication, and confidence. Mike Tyson's early life was shaped by hardship, facing many struggles that affected him both inside and outside the boxing ring. Born on June 30th, 1966, in Brooklyn, New York, Tyson grew up in a tough and dangerous neighborhood. His birth took place in Brownsville, an area known for crime and poverty. From a young age, Tyson was surrounded by a harsh world that deeply impacted his view of life. Tyson's mother, Lorna Mae Tyson, raised him and his siblings on her own. His father, Jimmy Kirkpatrick, left the family when Tyson was just a baby, leaving Lorna to raise the children alone. Tyson had two siblings, an older brother named Rodney and a sister, Denise. However, their family was often separated due to financial struggles and the challenges of living in a difficult environment. Growing up without a father left a lasting emotional impact on Tyson, leading to feelings of anger and abandonment that would follow him throughout his childhood. Tyson's early years were marked by poverty. The family lived in Brownsville, where economic instability and crime were everyday realities. Lorna worked multiple low-paying jobs to provide for her children, but money was always tight. Tyson often felt the pain of hunger and the lack of things that other kids took for granted. This difficult upbringing forced Tyson to grow up quickly and left him feeling isolated, frustrated, and angry at the world. Beyond the financial struggles, Tyson also faced emotional trauma. His mother dealt with her own challenges, including drug addiction, which only added to the instability in the household. Tyson was often surrounded by adults involved in criminal activities, which exposed him to violence from a young age. As he got older, Tyson's anger and emotional instability led him to get into trouble at school and in his neighborhood. Despite these challenges, Tyson's early life also offered him a glimmer of hope. At age 12, he was sent to the Tryon School for Boys, a juvenile detention center. It was here that Tyson first discovered boxing, an event that would change his life. Under the guidance of an experienced boxing trainer named Cus D'Amato, Tyson began developing his skills and finding the discipline he had lacked until then. D'Amato saw Tyson's potential and took him under his wing, becoming a father figure in his life. Before meeting D'Amato, Tyson had been involved in petty crime and lacked direction, but boxing gave him purpose. D'Amato not only trained him in the ring, but also mentored him, teaching him to control his emotions and develop the mindset of a champion. Tyson's training became more intense, and he quickly earned a reputation as a promising boxer. D'Amato's influence on Tyson was transformative, not just as a boxer, but as a person. Tyson's time at Tryon wasn't easy. The environment was harsh, and Tyson often struggled to fit in. At one point, he even ran away from the school, but when he returned, he met D'Amato, who would become a guiding force in his life. Under D'Amato's mentorship, Tyson gained discipline, focus, and mental toughness, laying the groundwork for his rise to boxing stardom. Though Tyson's early life was filled with challenges, boxing gave him a way out. It became a refuge from the pain and violence he had experienced. As Tyson honed his skills, he began building a name for himself in the boxing world. His early hardships shaped his relentless drive and mental toughness in the ring, but they also left scars that would follow him throughout his life. Understanding Tyson's early life is key to understanding the man he became. The poverty, emotional struggles, and lack of family stability left lasting marks on his psyche. But boxing gave him the structure, purpose, and direction he had been missing. Though his past would always influence him, Tyson's connection to boxing helped him focus on his future and goals. His rise from a troubled childhood to boxing glory is a testament to his resilience, though the emotional scars of his early years would never fully heal. Mike Tyson's introduction to boxing was a twist of fate, but it led him down a path that would forever change his life. Growing up in the dangerous, violent streets of Brooklyn, Tyson faced many challenges, but it was a small event that sparked his interest in boxing. One day, as Tyson was walking through his neighborhood, a group of boys started teasing him. In the middle of this confrontation, Tyson noticed a pigeon being played with by the boys. In his frustration and anger, Tyson chased after the bird and, in a surprising turn of events, fought off the boys who had been teasing him. That small incident ignited Tyson's interest in boxing, showing him how he could use his physical abilities in a way that gave him control and power. At age 12, Tyson's life took another major turn. His growing troublemaking behavior and involvement in petty crimes led to him being sent to the Tryon School for Boys, a juvenile detention center. It was here that Tyson's path toward boxing became more clear. Though the atmosphere at Tryon was tough, with many boys who were just as troubled as him, Tyson's introduction to boxing was a positive development at Tryon. Tyson met Bobby Stewart, a counselor and former boxer, who quickly saw Tyson's raw talent. Stewart took Tyson under his wing, helping him begin to develop his boxing skills. This was just the beginning, as Stewart's guidance played a key role in Tyson's early boxing training, teaching him the fundamentals that would later make him a champion. However, Tyson's boxing career truly began to take off when he met the legendary trainer Cus D'Amato. D'Amato, known for training some of the greatest boxers in history, took Tyson under his care. He didn't just train Tyson in boxing, but also became a mentor and father figure. D'Amato taught Tyson how to control his emotions, focus on his goals, and cultivate a championship mentality. With D'Amato's expert coaching, Tyson's boxing skills rapidly improved. Tyson's speed, strength, and instincts made him a natural in the ring, but it was D'Amato's influence that unlocked his full potential. D'Amato became the father figure Tyson had always needed, and his teachings formed the foundation for Tyson's success in boxing. With the support of both Stewart and D'Amato, Tyson's skills were refined to perfection. He quickly rose through the ranks of amateur boxing, and it was clear that Tyson had the talent to become a world champion. Tyson's boxing career was about to take off, and he was ready to leave his troubled past behind. Tyson's rise to boxing greatness began with a series of key events that shaped his future in the ring. His early interest in boxing started with a neighborhood fight involving a pigeon, followed by his time at Tryon School for Boys. During this period, Tyson found mentors in Bobby Stewart and the legendary Cus D'Amato. These influences laid the foundation for one of boxing's most memorable careers. Each experience contributed to Tyson's growth, and boxing became more than just a sport for him. It was his way out of a difficult childhood and a chance to focus his energy on something positive. Tyson found both success and purpose through boxing, eventually becoming one of the most feared fighters in the world. Tyson's early career is a testament to his natural talent, drive, and the mentorship he received along the way. He made his professional debut at just 18 years old in March 1985 and quickly proved himself in the ring. His early fights were incredible displays of his speed, power, and aggression, as he won 18 of his first 19 fights, 12 of them by knockout in the first round. This was a clear sign of Tyson's potential and dominance. Tyson's defining moment came on November 22, 1986, when he faced Trevor Berbick for the WBC heavyweight title. At just 20 years and 4 months old, Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion in history, defeating Berbick by technical knockout in the second round. This victory not only earned him the title but cemented his status as a rising star in boxing. Tyson's aggressive style and remarkable ability to move his head and deliver powerful punches made him a nightmare for opponents. He was fast and relentless, often closing the distance quickly to land powerful combinations, leaving little chance for his opponents to fight back. This style made him a dominating force in the ring, and he continued to capture multiple titles, defending them with ease. To sum it up, Tyson's early career was marked by unstoppable performances that showed his incredible talent and potential. His rise to the top of the heavyweight division, capped by his win over Berbick, set the stage for one of the most legendary careers in boxing. Mike Tyson's life outside the boxing ring has often been as dramatic and controversial as his career inside it. Despite achieving incredible fame and success, his personal life was filled with struggles and legal issues that often overshadowed his accomplishments. One of the most talked about parts of Tyson's personal history was his romantic life. His first marriage to actress Robin Givens in 1988 quickly gained attention. The relationship was marked by public arguments and accusations, with Givens calling Tyson a man with a violent temper in an interview. This caused a media frenzy, and the marriage ended in a highly publicized divorce in 1989, just a year later. Tyson lost a significant portion of his fortune in the settlement. His second marriage, to Monica Turner in 1997, appeared to be more stable, but it too faced its issues, including Tyson's infidelities and struggles with anger. They divorced in 2003, with Turner citing Tyson's erratic behavior as the reason. Tyson's relationships, including both marriages, were constantly under media scrutiny, revealing the difficulties he had in maintaining personal stability. Tyson's life was also marked by serious legal issues. In 1992, he was convicted of rape and sentenced to 6 years in prison after being found guilty of assaulting Desiree Washington, an 18-year-old beauty pageant contestant. Tyson served 3 years before being released on parole. This conviction had a lasting impact on Tyson, affecting both his public image and his boxing career. Despite earning hundreds of millions during his peak, Tyson's lavish spending habits led to financial ruin, and by 2003, he filed for bankruptcy. He had lost most of his wealth due to excessive purchases, legal fees, and personal struggles. In the years following, Tyson faced more financial issues, including lawsuits and debts, forcing him to make major changes in his life. Despite all this, Tyson continued to face public scrutiny, with his battles with addiction, anger, and depression making headlines. He had several run-ins with the law, including allegations of assault and domestic violence, adding to the perception of a man struggling to control his emotions. However, in more recent years, Tyson has tried to reinvent himself, showing a more thoughtful side. He has ventured into acting, podcasting, and public speaking, openly discussing his past mistakes and lessons learned. His life, full of both incredible achievements and deep struggles, continues to capture the public's attention. Tyson remains a complex and resilient figure. To summarize, Tyson's personal life was shaped by a series of controversies, from his marriages to his conviction and financial troubles. Despite the challenges, these aspects of his life have contributed to his complicated public image. Tyson's story is one of both extraordinary achievements and painful consequences, making him one of the most controversial figures in sports history. 6. Mike Tyson's return to boxing after his release from prison in 1995 was filled with both hope and personal struggles. Although still a talented fighter, Tyson had been deeply affected by his time in prison. His ongoing legal troubles and personal issues, and his comeback wasn't easy. Though he regained the WBC heavyweight title in 1996, his consistency and focus weren't what they once were. Tyson's comeback was filled with distractions, such as financial struggles and personal problems, which made it hard for him to return to the peak of his career. One of the most infamous moments during Tyson's comeback came in 1997, when he faced Evander Holyfield in a highly anticipated rematch. In the third round of the fight, Tyson bit Holyfield's ear twice, severing a portion of it during the second bite. This shocking incident, known as the bite fight, led to Tyson's disqualification, a $3 million fine, and a temporary suspension. It marked a turning point in Tyson's career and further damaged his already tarnished reputation. The public reaction was overwhelmingly negative, and the biting incident became a symbol of Tyson losing control and letting personal demons affect his performance in the ring. Tyson's struggles continued, and despite trying to push forward, it was clear that his career was nearing its end. Later fights, including one against Lennox Lewis in 2002, showed that Tyson no longer had the same powerful force that once made him a boxing legend. In 2005, after a loss to Kevin McBride, Tyson retired from boxing, signaling the end of an era. Though he briefly considered a comeback, his physical and emotional challenges, combined with financial problems, led him to leave the sport for good. In conclusion, Tyson's return to boxing showed glimpses of his former brilliance, but his struggles, both personal and professional, became more apparent. The biting incident and his eventual retirement in 2005 represented the decline of a once great champion, and his last years in the sport were overshadowed by the controversies and difficulties that had followed him throughout his career. 7. After retiring from boxing, Mike Tyson sought to redefine himself beyond the ring. Despite facing many personal challenges, Tyson found success in various areas of life, proving he could still thrive outside of boxing. One of his most notable ventures was in the cannabis industry. Tyson became a key player in the growing legal cannabis market, founding Tyson Ranch, a business focused on marijuana cultivation, production, and sales. Operating in California, his company also produces wellness products, reflecting Tyson's journey towards self-improvement and recovery. The cannabis business allowed Tyson to rebuild both his wealth and reputation, while his public support for cannabis as a therapeutic tool gave him a new sense of purpose. This move marked a significant shift in Tyson's life, showing his ability to adapt and succeed in a changing world. Tyson also ventured into the entertainment industry, making memorable appearances in movies and TV shows, particularly in the Hangover films, where he played a comedic version of himself. His role in the first film became iconic, showcasing his humor and making him more relatable to a new generation of fans. Additionally, Tyson brought his life story to the stage with his one-man show, Mike Tyson, Undisputed Truth, where he shared his personal experiences, struggles, and victories with audiences. The show was well-received and helped to humanize Tyson in the eyes of the public. Tyson also focused on giving back to the community through his charity work. He founded the Mike Tyson Cares Foundation, which aims to support at-risk youth by providing mentorship and educational programs. His work with the foundation reflects Tyson's desire to make amends for his past mistakes and use his success to help others. In conclusion, Tyson's life after boxing has been a journey of transformation. Through his business ventures, media appearances, and charitable work, he has built a new identity beyond the boxing ring. While his career as a fighter remains legendary, his post-boxing achievements highlight his ability to adapt and grow. Tyson's resilience and willingness to reinvent himself show the strength he possesses both in and out of the ring. 8. Mike Tyson's life story is one of the most captivating in sports. From his rapid rise to boxing superstardom to his dramatic fall and eventual redemption, Tyson's journey reflects the struggle between talent, personal hardships, and resilience. Tyson's legacy is one of both greatness and controversy, with his dominance in the ring during his prime being unmatched. His ferocious fighting style and unmatched power made him one of the most feared boxers in history. Yet outside the ring, Tyson's life was full of challenges, including legal troubles, financial ruin, and personal demons that sometimes overshadowed his success. When we look back at Tyson's life, it's clear that his legacy is not just about his boxing ability. His rise to fame and subsequent downfall serve as a reminder of the dangers of fame without the right support. Yet, Tyson's efforts to rebuild his life professionally and personally have earned him a second chance in the public eye. Through his work in the cannabis industry, his media appearances, and his charity work, Tyson has been able to reshape his identity and have a positive impact on those around him. In a recent interview, Tyson opened up about his struggles and the lessons he's learned along the way. Reflecting on his past, Tyson emphasized how far he has come. "I've been through a lot in my life. I've hit rock bottom, and I've had to climb back up. It hasn't been easy, but I'm still here, still standing." His willingness to talk about his past shows how much he's grown, and it's clear that Tyson is no longer just a boxer who once ruled the heavyweight division. He's a man who's learned to confront his flaws. Tyson's story is a reminder that greatness in one area of life doesn't guarantee happiness in others. His journey has been full of contradictions. He was both a champion and a fallen star, a fierce competitor and a deeply flawed man. But his resilience and determination to change have ensured that his legacy isn't just about his mistakes. Tyson's story inspires those facing adversity, showing that reinvention and finding purpose are possible, even after the hardest times. To conclude, Tyson's legacy is complex, shaped by his extraordinary achievements in boxing and the lessons he's learned from his personal struggles. His story is one of redemption, resilience, and growth, proof of the human capacity for change. Tyson's impact on the world of sports is undeniable, but it's his personal evolution beyond the ring that truly defines his lasting influence.